What if losing everything wasn't the end of your story, but the moment it truly began? When Amir crossed the border, he carried two things: a small backpack and a memory of a life that no longer existed. The backpack held a few clothes, a worn notebook, and a cracked phone that barely worked. The memory was heavier. It was the sound of a shop door closing for the last time, the smell of spices in the air, the pride on his father's face when customers thanked them for honest work. That shop was gone now. So was his country. So was the version of Amir who knew exactly who he was. In the new place, Amir became a number before he became a name. Forms, lines, waiting rooms, questions he answered again and again. Where are you from? Why did you leave? Do you have family here? The answers never changed, but each time he said them, they felt smaller, less real. The city where Amir was resettled moved fast. People walked with purpose. They didn't look up. They didn't look back. Amir noticed how easily people belonged without realizing it. He didn't belong yet. Amir took whatever work he could find: cleaning tables, stocking shelves, carrying boxes in the back of stores where customers never went. He learned quickly that effort didn't always lead to stability. Some days he worked 12 hours and still worried about rent. Other days he was sent home early without explanation. He didn't complain. Complaining felt like a luxury. At night, Amir sat on the edge of his bed and opened the notebook from his backpack. The pages were filled with handwriting from years ago: recipes, prices, supply lists, notes from his father, corrections in red ink, lessons hidden between numbers. Back home, Amir's family ran a small food business. Nothing fancy, but it was theirs. Amir had learned early how to negotiate, how to stretch resources, how to earn trust. He didn't realize then that he was learning entrepreneurship. He just thought he was helping. In this new country, those skills felt invisible. Language was Amir's first wall. He understood more than he could speak. He listened carefully, afraid of making mistakes. When customers spoke too fast, he nodded even when he wasn't sure. Pride told him to pretend. Survival told him to learn. He practiced words under his breath while walking home. He wrote phrases on scrap paper. He memorized menus, signs, and advertisements like they were lessons meant only for him. One evening, while cleaning a small cafe after closing, Amir noticed something familiar. The owner threw away food every night. Not because it was spoiled, but because it hadn't sold. Perfectly good food, gone. The sight bothered Amir more than it should have. He thought of people he knew who would have considered that waste unthinkable. He thought of long lines back home, of sharing meals, of stretching ingredients until nothing was lost. An idea formed quietly. At first, Amir ignored it. Ideas felt dangerous. Ideas made you hope. Hope hurt when it failed. But the idea returned every night. Amir began asking careful questions, not directly, casually. How much food was wasted? Which items sold slowest? What times were busiest? He listened the same way he had as a boy, patiently, respectfully. Without announcing his intentions, he started small. On his days off, Amir cooked meals in his tiny apartment using discounted ingredients from local markets. He shared them with neighbors in the building, not to sell, just to connect. People smiled, asked questions, came back. "You should sell this," someone said. Amir laughed nervously. Sell meant permits, money, risk, all the things refugees were told to avoid. Still, he began calculating quietly. Costs, portions, margins. He wrote everything down like his father once taught him. The first time Amir tried to sell food, it didn't go well. He underestimated costs, overestimated demand. He stood outside a community event with a small table and a hopeful sign. People walked past. Some smiled politely. At the end of the day, Amir went home with more food than money. That night, he stared at the ceiling and wondered if this was another thing he wasn't meant to rebuild. Then he opened the notebook again. Failure wasn't new to him. Loss wasn't new. Starting over was. The second attempt was quieter. Amir partnered with a small local store that agreed to let him sell meals 1 day a week. He adjusted portions, changed pricing, focused on consistency instead of attention. It worked slowly. Customers returned. They remembered his food. They trusted him. Still, obstacles piled up. Paperwork confused him. Regulations felt endless. One mistake could shut everything down. Amir nearly gave up when a permit issue delayed him for weeks. During that time, he worked extra shifts, saved carefully, learned relentlessly. One afternoon, an older business owner noticed Amir studying a pricing chart during a break. He asked what Amir was doing. Amir hesitated, then explained. The man nodded. "You already think like a business owner," he said. "You just don't know it yet." Those words stayed with Amir. Months passed. Amir's small operation grew. Not quickly, but solidly. He reinvested everything. He didn't rush. He didn't chase trends. He built trust the same way his father had one customer at a time. Then came the moment that tested everything. A larger company approached Amir with an offer. They wanted to buy his recipes, brand them, and scale fast. The money was tempting, life-changing, enough to erase years of instability. Amir didn't answer right away. That night, he walked through the city and thought about what he was really building. He thought about the neighbors who came every week, the customers who asked about his story, the pride he felt handing someone food he had made from nothing. The next day, Amir declined the offer. Instead, he focused on growth he could control. Years later, Amir stood inside his own storefront. Not big, not flashy, but real. His name was on the door. His story was inside the walls. People from many backgrounds worked together in the kitchen. Immigrants, locals, students, parents. Amir didn't just hire workers. He hired people who needed a first chance. On the opening day, Amir stood quietly in the corner while customers filled the space. Laughter mixed with conversation. The smell of food filled the air. For the first time since crossing the border, Amir felt something settle inside him, belonging. A reporter asked him later how he managed to build a business after losing everything. Amir smiled. "I didn't lose everything," he said. "I carried the most important parts." He looked at the notebook on the shelf behind the counter. Some things can't be taken from you. They can only be rebuilt. Watch the next episode of Hidden Stories That Changed Lives. Please like, comment, and subscribe.